Hi, this is Marianne with another scrapbooking process video. I used the Studio Calico April 2014 Bluegrass Farm kit, and I got one add-on, the Bessie add-on. So I'm just going through my papers now, seeing what I want to use. I have 3 pictures picked out from one of our summer trips in 2011. Every year we go to Montauk. It's the east end of Long Island where I live. You have to drive through the Hamptons to get there. So that year I did Project Life, and I think it was also Week in the Life that week. So I took a lot of photos, and I had photos of us packing the car up for our girls' weekend away. And what I wanted to do, my objective, was to use these Amy Tangerine, they're like phrase stickers. You'll see them, they're coming up. So I wanted to use them. There's a phrase, here we go. So I know I'm going to use that. But so right now I'm going through the paper. I've kind of decided that I'm going to go with blue and orange as my colors. I don't end up using that. I decided on a white background. And first I was thinking that I was just going to do something straight down the middle of the page. But that wasn't going to work out. The photos were just too wide. I cut down 2 4x6 photos into little pictures so that they would also span the top 4x6 photo. This piece of paper is from the Bessie add-on. It's from Webster's Pages. I forget the collection, something travel, Our Travels. It's called Noteworthy Sites. This side actually, it looks like map paper, but it actually is zodiac signs, but it looked like good enough for what I wanted. So I went with that. It's blue with a little bit of orange in it. So I think I'm going to use that orange pattern paper there. That's also from the Bessie add-on. Those are the stickers I was talking about. So I really love these stickers. I haven't used them yet, so I definitely wanted to get them on a layout. So I know I'm going to use Here We Go. So I'm just going to put it on a piece of wax paper so I can see where I want to put it on the layout. And I don't really have another idea for this page, so I'm not sure at this point what it's going to look like. I know I had wanted to go straight down the middle, but I'm starting to see that's not going to work out. These also came in the Bessie add-on. They're from Basic Gray Highline Chipboard. They're really nice pieces of chipboard. I'll definitely get a lot of use out of them. They just weren't going to work with this layout, so I put them away. And so now I'm just going through some of my stash I had. I used to subscribe to Citrus Twist, so I was just looking through some of the little stuff that came in one of those kits. I don't even know what kit it was, maybe something over the summer. So I'm just going to go through these. None of these work out. Just the normal process of going through your stash, whatever was at hand. I just wanted to see if it would fit on the page. And nothing really is catching my eye. And right now I'm figuring that the orange maybe isn't going to work. So I'm going to change my tacks. This piece of Basic Gray Capture, it's from the Capture line. So I decided I'm going to mount the photos on this one side of it. It's blue and yellow. It's graph paper, sort of. And it's got this yellow arrow that comes up. So once I laid it on there, I said, oh, I really like that. So I fit both photos. I trimmed it so that they would fit across the 4x6, and I'm having trouble making sure it's straight on there. So I'm going to rip it up and redo it a few times, just get it going straight. I'm not too picky about things being totally straight, but on a lined piece of paper, it makes a little bit of a difference. So I'm just going to trim it up and lay it on the cardstock, the white cardstock, and that's when I'm going to see that the orange is just not going to work out. So I know I wanted to use that, got rid of the orange. And I'm going to trim off the bottom of that, and it's yellow polka dots on that side. And once I lay that down, I said, oh, I like that. So those are the papers I end up using. Both sides of the basic gray capture and a piece of the Webster's Pages Noteworthy. It's a travel line, and that came in the Bessie add-on. So there we go. That's basically it. So I also knew I wanted to use these Hero Art stamps, which look like you spritzed mist or made like a coffee ring stain. I'll show them in a minute. So I knew I wanted to use those because I bought them a while ago and never used them. So here I'm just going to ink up my edges. I'm using a Prima chalk ink in Old Road, I think it's called. And I've really given this little ink dabber a workout. It's kind of shedding because I love to just pick it up and ink my edges instead of changing the pad on my ink applicator, which is usually brown anyway. And I took out my tiny attacher because I feel like I don't use it enough, and I wanted to round that corner. I have the old school Creative Memory corner rounder. Even though I never did Creative Memories, I have some of their tool. They last a lifetime. So I took out two Mr. Huey Mists in blue and black, and those are the stamps I was talking about from Hero Arts. And I also have an ink dauber, I think in Buttercup from Hero Arts. So I needed a little piece of patterned paper to go above the photo because I didn't like the way the photo just rested on the white cardstock, and I knew I wanted to use that Hero Arts Distressed Ring Coffee Ring stamp up there. So I just needed a little scrap of something that was neutral looking. So I went through my scraps and I found this piece. I think it's from a Studio Calico collection, a really old one. Just very beige and neutral, and just layered it under there. That's perfect for what I wanted. So now I'm going to get all fancy and use my tiny attacher and just staple everything down instead of gluing it with my ATG. Just do something different. I feel like I never use my tiny attacher even though I love it. I never think to use it. So I'm going to staple everything down, and then right here I looked at it and I was like, oh no, I don't know if I really like this. Maybe I wanted to move my stuff around. And then I was like, oh well, I stapled it. That's it now. Okay, just go for it. So I inked up the stamp and just on a piece of scrap there. I'm going to see if I like it. And then you know what? Sometimes you just have to go for it. Just going to go for it. What's the worst that can happen? It's only paper. So my first stamp didn't come out so great, but I think it's because I just didn't ink it up good, because that one came out just the way I wanted it to. So now I'm in the mode. I'm interested. I'm engaged. I'm stamping. Love it. Now I'm just going to make a mess, and that's exactly, I guess, what I was in the mood to do. That little piece of paper that I put underneath my layout comes with close to my heart stamps. And it's just like, it looks like a piece of packaging material, but it's a great layer underneath whatever your stamp project is. It absorbs the stamp and it helps stamp evenly. So now I just use the other stamp from Hero Arts. It looks like an ink splatter, a mist splatter, and I used a paper tray ink pad that I've had in a blue tone. So I'm just going around. I just want to even it out, and I'm going to use some mist. All right, so now I'm going to put down the title. There it is. And I'm happy now with the way that looks. It needs a little something underneath. So this piece, this washi is from Glitz. I think their first release, maybe their second release. I don't remember. Color My World, I feel like it's from. It just says happiness is, maybe? Something about happiness. I don't remember what it says. And now I'm digging through my stash to find, oh, I just opened up one of my containers that has Vintage looking things. I know what I'm looking for. I want something to go on the side of the photos, on the other side, not where the title is. And I knew I had these Jenny Bolin tickets. And I knew I had some blue that would be just the right color. Although they say school lunch on them. So I didn't really, this page really has nothing to do with food or school lunch or anything like that. So I knew I wanted to use them. They were just the right color. I didn't want any green on this page, so that wasn't going to work. And then I had one ticket that was kind of a brownish color that I had distressed another time and then didn't use on a project, so I just shoved back into the package. So I'm going to use 2 blue, 1 brown. I put them over to the side. And then when I was going through my stash, I saw these basic gray flags. They're from the Serenade collection. I think I got them on really deep discount on 2Ps. They were phasing them out. And they're really cute. They're just little banners. And they caught my eye, and I was like, you know what? They're perfect on here. So I love when that happens. You just like go through your stash and just pull out random things, and you just make them work. So I'm decided I'm going to mist up these little tickets so that you can't see that they say school lunch anymore. And then I thought I was going to use one of these basic gray wood buttons, which were also just hanging around in my stash that I never really used because they coordinated with the layout. So, but I don't end up using that in the end. So instead of heat setting, I just took a paper towel and wiped off the excess mist. I'm just going to make those just a little border down the side there. They're nice and messy. I'm going to ink them up. Just a little something down the side. And now you can't even see that it says school lunch. That just looks like some tickets. I'm just layering, make some layers. And that little flag is from Basic Gray Serenade, and it was one huge flag. It was like 2 toothpicks, one on each side with a flag over it. That actually is a little travel map on there. So I cut it in half and made 2 separate flags. I'm going to put one down in the right-hand corner and the other one up by the title. And I'm just going to use some pop dots, give it a little dimension. And they don't, the Serenade flags were stickers, I think, at once upon a time, but they don't stick anymore, which is fine. I'm just going to pop dot them all anyway. And those are 3 little banners that came from the Serenade pack. So now I'm just going to ink up a portion of my layout. Use lots of mist droplets from Studio Calico. I think it's called Inky. It's whatever the black is. Black ink. And I'm going to glue the rest of my little flags. I lost my pop dots there. I use the American Craft pop dots. I really like the way they go on. So I'm trying with that wooden button, but it's just not going to work. For my last layout, I had the wood veneer stars out, so I just sprinkle a few. And I'm going to see about those sequins. Nope, not the right color. And in the end, I didn't feel like going to look for sequins that would match. I'm sure that I have them. So I'm just going to glue down some wood veneer stars. There's 5 over there. Just gluing them down with my Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. Just like Nicole Jones 911, another YouTube scrapbooking process video maker. If you haven't checked out her channel, Nicole Jones 911, I recommend that you do. She really inspires me to use my scrapbooking kits. She's a great video maker. So I didn't realize I was off camera over there. I moved the page a little bit. And I'm just layering up 3 different pieces of washi. It was some yellow, some black and white dots, and some of that glitz happiness ones. And I'm just going to, I layered that little flag on top, and I just added some more black mist sprinkles. And now I'm just going to add a few stars over there. And I'm really liking the way this page came together. I just felt like being creative, making a little bit of a mess. It's just what I wanted it to look like. So I'm going to mist some more up there by the coffee rings. And I'm really happy I got a chance to use those stamps, because wood-mounted stamps are not cheap, but I really love them. and I'm glad that I got them. The trick is to then use them. So I don't know what I'm going to go look for. Oh, I want to put a little title up above the picture there. So I'm looking for something. I know I want arrows, and then I remember I have wood veneer arrows. So I'm going to go look through all my wood veneer, get some arrows up there. I'm just going to put a little tiny title up there. So I picked 3 wood veneer arrows. I think those were from Studio Calico, maybe Freckled Fawn. I don't remember. I took everything out of the packages. And then I just add 2 little hearts, wood veneer hearts, so that I have 3 places where there's wood veneer around the page to make a visual triangle so your eye follows around. And now I'm looking for the little sticker letters I want to use. I think they're from an old Studio Calico kit. I'm going to glue down my hearts. Oh, and I had a little black heart from a punch laying on my work table, but I didn't go with it. So there's the little sticker letters. They're really little. And sometimes to get the middle out of an O or an A is a little labor intensive. So if you notice, I peel each sticker and then stick it on my hand for my title so that I can get rid of the sticker sheet, and then I just use the letters off my hand. It's just a weird habit I've always had while I'm scrapbooking. But it makes the stickers really handy, and I don't lose them. I guess I could have used the wax paper, but I just feel like it's an extra step sometimes to get the wax paper, lay them down, and then peel them off. So I'm just writing Montauk Bound up there. I'm not being too careful about it being straight. It's a nice, messy, artsy page. And then I'm just going to glue down 3 arrows, 1 on one side and 2 on the other. And then I'm probably going to call this page done. I run the Stashbusters challenge over at 2peasinabucket.com on the general scrapping board. Everybody is welcome to play. It's just 4 or 5 challenges every 2 weeks. And we inspire each other to scrapbook. Really, that's all it is. Very few rules, and I pick a winner. And the more challenges you do, the better chances you have of winning just a small scrapping goodie. So there's my finished page. I'm very happy with the way it came out. I'm going to show a few detail shots. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll check us out over at the Stashbusters challenge. Bye-bye.